Hey guys, I just wanted to go over a couple of what you might find to be harder questions, not because you have to do anything any different, but because they look a bit different. So I want to do a couple of the ones with fractional exponents or square roots, which are fractional exponents in disguise. So let's do maybe this guy right here, number 5. If you want to take the derivative, your new coefficient is just your old coefficient multiplied by the exponent. So 3 times 5 over 4 is 15 over 4. And then your exponent you subtract 1 from. And 5 over 4 minus 1 is 1 over 4. And that's it. That's all you got to do. Again, no different. You don't change the rules or anything for it. You just got to know you're dealing with a fractional exponent. You got other things like this guy that might throw you off. Or why don't we do a negative one first? So if you take a look at this sucker, again, you don't do anything any different. It just might throw you that you got a negative exponent. So yeah, your new coefficient is just your old coefficient times your old exponent. So negative 4 times negative 5 is 20. And then you subtract 1 from your exponent. So negative 5 minus 1 is negative 6. By the way, you might see stuff like this, y prime or whatever. That usually just means first derivative. You got these little like apostrophes that tell you like first derivative, or if you have 2 of them, it would be second derivative. So just if you see that, you could also write it as dy dt. If you take that away, same deal. Anyway, here's one that might trip you up. Might be like, what do you do if it's being divided? If you remember correctly, 1 divided by x to the 3rd power is x to the minus 3rd power. So we just realized that 1 over x to the 3 is x to the minus 3. Basically, if you got something over a power, just make that exponent negative, and it's the same thing. And then same deal, 3 times negative 3 gets us our new coefficient, because old coefficient times old exponent is our derivatives coefficient. So we have negative 9, and then to find our new exponent, we subtract 1 from our old one. So x to the minus 4 is minus 3 minus 1 is minus 4. And that's our derivative. This guy, again, if you've got the 4th root, that's x to the power of 1 over 4. If it was a square root, you just had this. That would be x to the 1/2. If it's a 3rd root, it'd be x to the 1/3. Hopefully you know this. If not, now maybe you do. Anyway, so at that point, you just do business as usual. So our new coefficient is negative 2 times 1 over 4, which is negative 1/2. And then we subtract 1 from our exponent. So 1/4 minus 1 is negative 3 over 4. So notice it looks messed up, but it's really no different than anything you've done before. You don't have to change the power rule or anything. You just gotta be a little bit aware of how powers relate to square roots and powers relate to dividing by variables to certain exponents. Anyway, hope that helps a bit. That's it for now. Thanks for listening.